It's me, Jordan Long here, but you already know that. And if you've been watching my YouTube fairway long enough, then I don't need to keep on saying my name. But I guess I had to come up with something to make me not come off as, like Natalie Tang would just say hi all the time. So anyway, today's film is on something that's old, but still happens on YouTube from time to time. Films getting stuck and forlaying, or forlayed, or forlayed, or forlaying, however you want to say it. Um, when there's no grounds for it. And there never is grounds for it. But this film's about creeps out there who believe they know why the film is getting stuck in forlaying, but they don't work for YouTube. Their wisdom of the reckoner may or may not be good enough, but they love to tell you why they think that your film's getting stuck in forlaying. But keep in mind, they don't work for YouTube. But they're going to throw kinds of shit out at you, and none of it's going to be the grounds for it. Oh, well, it might be your interweb giver. Oh, it could be your firewall. It might be your evilware stronghold. Oh, well, first off, if it was my Microsoft Windows firewall or my System Attack Norton evilware stronghold, it didn't stop anything from getting forlayed back then, and it wouldn't stop it from getting forlayed now. And it's not my interweb giver either. Yeah, so many of them out there want to blame it on something on your end. And keep in mind, these folks don't really have any wisdom on it. They're just making guesses. And their guesses are always the hang-ups on your end. That's their guess. That's their fucking guess all the time. It was like this back in the day on a YouTube help sheet. You would get some creep that would show up. He or she would think they knew what they were talking about, but they were not talking about. Yeah, it's one of them. One of those folks that wants to believe they know why it's fucking up. And let's cut the shit right now. If it was my interweb giver, the film would have gotten stuck in uploading. If it was my small soft Windows firewall, the upload would have stopped. If it was, I don't know, my System Attack Norton evilware stronghold, same thing. But all that shit is working, and it's not stopping my film from being uploaded. The bind happened when the forlaying started, which is all on YouTube, After that, it's all YouTube has to work on forlaying the film. It doesn't need any more help from your reckoner, and your firewall or whatever your evilware stronghold didn't stop it from, doesn't do anything. If it didn't do anything before, it wouldn't do nothing. Now, and the forlaying would not been stopped by those two tools. And as far as bandwidth or whatever the fuck that borrowed word means, that has to do with uploading, not forlaying. So anyway, these folks will always, and back in the day, if you would bitch about YouTube having a hang up, your haters would come on you and they would scave you for it. They would say, you have no right. You can't bitch about YouTube. It's free. So you can't bitch about it. I can bitch about YouTube if I want to, if it's fucking up. And I don't care if it's free or not. Alright? You're going to tell me that you don't bitch about nothing. But you bitch about me and my films. And I'm sure you would get irked and mad if your film that you made, uploaded, and then got stuck in Forlaid? Oh yeah, what would you do? Just stop there and let it be stuck all day if that's what was going to happen? Yeah. So at the end of the day, the bind, the hang up, whatever you want to call it, it's always going to be on YouTube's end. And there's always going to be folks that think they know why it's doing it, but they don't know. They don't work for YouTube. They're not a alphabet under hireling, since alphabet or runes now is the bearer of Google, and Google's the bearer of YouTube, and on so and on so. Yeah, I think I would take their word over it than someone else on the webstead. That wisdom of the reckoner. See, you can have reckoner wisdom, but that doesn't mean you have webstead wisdom. And a lot of these folks out there, there's no way for them. No. And at the end of the day, I don't really think their wisdom of the reckoner or their wisdom of websteads really means nothing. Alright? So let's be earnest about that. That's why when feedback came along about 6 or 7 years ago, yeah, then you didn't have to go on this shitty help sheet anymore, which was never really that helpful unless someone from YouTube came on and unless someone from YouTube came on and then said something. Most of the time, it was just fuckers out there saying they knew why your shit was fucking up, but they didn't know. The other time it was folks telling you that they were having the same bind that you were having, so you knew you weren't alone. But as far as being helpful, it was not really that helpful. So that's it. I'm Jordan Long, and I hope you like this film.